Hey folks, this is Matt once again. This was a paid request from BillBonJovi, and I guess I just wanted to do this on the phone just to be a bit different. And he wanted me to do a full reaction to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem official teaser trailer. And I knew of the film. A lot of people have been telling me about the film. Like I said, the fact that the voice cast, you have John Cena, Seth Rogen, Ice Cube, Jackie Chan. I think I said this before. What? Did you pick the names out of the bottom of a Cracker Jack box? Just randomly? I don't care about Jackie Chan voicing Splinter. I personally think that's a dumb choice. Like, obvious choice, but dumb choice. It just seemed like, hey, remember the Karate Kid remake? So, get Jackie Chan to do that again. And that's the least of this movie's worries. The Ninja Turtles are like every single franchise known in today's hemisphere. They get milked to death. They get regurgitated to death. And to the point that it's hard to get mad anymore because once you're let down once, twice, thrice, again and again and again, it's like the Halloween franchise, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, the Terminator franchise, the Alien franchise, the Predator franchise, the Star Wars franchise. How many crap do you try to swallow before you go, you know what? This ain't worth it. This ain't worth it. And before people say this stuff is just for kids, it's actually fitting I'm doing this in black and white. People don't remember that the original comic books, which a lot of these folks probably never even read those comics, they were violent. They were kind of a satiric look at Daredevil. Instead of the hand, here you have the foot. Instead of stick, the sensei here is called Splinter. So on and so forth. And you just say there's actually a connection between with the ooze that might have blinded and helped Daredevil have his powers, and that's going off another tangent. People forget that. People forget that the 1990 movie literally had Raphael thrown through a skylight, get into a coma, and they go to a farm to recuperate. The 80s Ninja Turtles cartoon made it popular, brought it to the dance, to the mainstream, so to speak. My favorite version is the 1990 film. 1991 film Secret of the Ooze is more kid-friendly, to be fair. Thought it was fun, entertaining, especially for the time. The 2003 cartoon, I thought, was a kid show, but brought a lot of darker elements, action, momentum of elements, moments that you're like, wow, they got away with a lot. Just go see an episode called Same as It Never Was to showcase my point fully on that. And you just look at the pictures, they look like they're 10 years old. And I know someone was like, oh, you're mad that the teenagers are teenagers? I'm like, doesn't mean they have to be 10 years old. Did you never read the original comics? Did you never see the older movies? Did you never see the 2003 cartoon? You think teenagers have to be 10 years old? You do see that they're getting younger and younger and younger, and these are pretty much pre-teens? These are pretty much pre-teenage. It's not even teenage, pre-teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What are you talking about? But if I looked at this trailer, they always do this thing where they show a little bit of it. And let me pause. I'm on Nickelodeon Movies. This is a 1 minute 53 second on IGN movie trailers. Nickelodeon Movies is already a bad example of. I can't do the. What was the last movie that they did that was worth a spit? That they released, that they were behind, that their name was attached to? What was the last decent movie that they were attached to? Bet it'd take a while for you to think of it, at least a newer one. So I go on. So now also, I pause again, they're now doing the Into the Spider-Verse animation, which worked well for Spider-Man. Some people say I'm too judgmental and I hate everything. I enjoy Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. In fact, that's been my favorite Spider-Man movie. I'm sure they're trying to do it because that got a lot of buzz. So let's take that animation technique. From permanent teenager Seth Rogen, why is this a positive? The last project I remember this guy attached to was Santa Inc. See, I didn't even do that on purpose, but I'm doing this because it's BS to be allergic to. And I'll pause again in 17 seconds. Oh, let's have the original cartoon theme. Get those nostalgia, the nostalgia remember berries, the member berries in your brain. I remember that. Right, a new audience that never saw that would not know what the hell that music was, but for older audiences, which they wanted to get older and younger to be more successful, do you remember them? Do you remember the old cartoon theme? You know, a new generation of heroes. Rise straight from the sewer. Well, I mean, this movie is looking like it should be in a gutter. So Raphael, again, he looks like he's 12 at most, and missing teeth. What is with Raphael always missing stuff? I mean, the 2012 cartoon, he was missing a piece of his shell in front. Then they did that Rise of the TMNT, and he made him like snapping turtle, steroided up. Now he's even missing a tooth. Humana, humana. Mighty, his head looks like a pumpkin shape. Why does his head look like a pumpkin? Also, in Donatello, does he... Why does Raphael almost sound like Nelson from The Simpsons? On pause 46 seconds. He almost sounds like a toned down version of Nelson from The Simpsons. I was ready for him to go, ha ha. And why does Donatello sound like he's 8 years old? He sounds almost like Ike from South Park. And by the way, we have to remember that he's a nerd, so we gotta give him glasses. In case you don't know he's a nerd, he wears glasses. Just like these. Surprised it doesn't have the tape in the middle. I'd say again, the next time they do a thing, it's gonna be Muppet babies. It's gonna be turtle babies. Turtle babies, a shuriken for you. Turtle babies, a ninja kick or two. You don't like that they're teenagers and it's called Teenagers? This isn't teenagers, this is preteens. I feel like Shredder and Secret of the Ooze. Babies. They're babies. The next time you do a movie, they will be running around in diapers. Ninja Turtle diapers. The voices is fucking god awful. Yes, this is my first impression. That's what teasers and trailers are for. I don't know why this is such a weird state of affairs for people that not get the concept. Teasers and trailers are meant to give you impression. The impression of whether you want to see a film or not see a film. I don't understand why this is a hard concept for people. What, you don't have toxic positivity? You better like this no matter what? You know, people always talk about toxic negativity. I agree with a few friends of mine. There is such a thing as toxic positivity. Sometimes you do have to be critical on stuff. I'm sorry. This summer. And why did Splinter, he looks like he's got, let me look back. What does he look like? Why does Splinter look like he's got an afro? 1 minute, 3 seconds. He looks like he's got an afro or something. Was he linked from the Mod Squad? Took his hair? Well, yeah, I mean, little Shreks. I mean, we went to them looking like big, giant Shreks in Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles reboots that he produced, those movies. So we go for the big Shreks to little Shreks. Go figure. So Bebon Rocksteady is voiced by John Cena and Seth Rogen. Great. So Raphael slipped and Donatello got stabbed in the leg. Again, why does Donatello sounds he he's you know, I said the others look like they're 10 years old. Donatello sounds like he's 8 or 7 years old. And so April O'Neil, I don't know what they did with her. I guess they just stole. They pretty much stole the look from that Rise of the TMNT version. She's a bit frumpy looking. She's black. She got Whoopi Goldberg's hair. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much they took the look from, for the most part, from Rise of the TMNT. Okay. The voices are so god awful in these characters. It's just so god. I mean, they look like they're ready to go with South Park to school. They're ready for the school bus. Hannibal Buress. Why does that sound familiar? Isn't it Micah? Yeah. I don't know who any of these folks are. Voicing the Turtles. Post Malone, Ice Cube. Damn, Paul Rudd. They really picked these names out of a damn hat. I mean, you want me to sugarcoat it? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This looks like absolute garbage. But it's hard to get mad, screaming, upset, cursing, yelling. And honestly, because what do we expect? What do we expect out of these films, these characters, the usage of these franchises? People say stuff like this has only been for kids. They don't know their history. They don't know the past. They don't know the potential. I mean, that is literally like saying Batman is only for kids. You say that's a bad example. Okay, do people say Superman is for kids? Let's use Superman as a better example. Imagine someone said Superman is just for kids. If people said Superman is just for kids, then you would not have some people like what they did with Zack Snyder and his movies. Superman the movie, Christopher Reeve. That's not. I would not call it a kids film. So again, people who keep saying that these characters are just for kids, You're disregarding the full potential of these characters. And why is it that it would be ridiculous to say Superman is just for kids? It would be ridiculous to say that any DC Marvel character is just for kids. If I told you Captain America was just for kids, you would laugh in my face. If I told you Iron Man, if I told you Spider-Man is just for kids, you would laugh in my face. And is it really any less goofy than Ninja Turtles? A guy dressed up in red and blue pajamas, shooting sticky stuff and climbing on walls and ceilings, having a spidey sense. Is that any less ridiculous? Like a lot of these other comic book characters and so forth? No. But we don't say that these other characters are just for kids because we've seen what potential they could cause, whether it be in comic books, but then also in movies, TV shows, things of that nature. So again, answer me this. Why is it that only this and this alone could be considered just for kids when you're limiting all the full potential of these characters? And so you're just diluting it more and more into this potbelly of cringe-worthy. I don't know what kids will like this. Well, it's 2023. Why should I? And that's a bad question to ask in 2023, the way the world is today. So yeah, I think this flat out sucks. I don't really care about the Into the Spider-Verse. I think it's just the way these turtles look in terms of design wise. The voices sound awful. They sound god awful. I mean, it sadly makes me yearn for the days of the 2007 TMNT animated film. This girl, Seth Rogen. Why would you trust Seth Rogen, who's producing this? Why would you trust Seth Rogen? Answer me that. Please feel free to answer me that. The people want to defend it. What has Seth Rogen done to earn your trust? The voices sound off. The characters sound off. People either have pumpkin heads and whiny voice. Like Donatel's voice sounds whiny as hell. He sounds like he hasn't hit puberty yet. But they're teenagers. No, they're pre-teenagers. Again, the next film, they'll be going around in diapers, throwing them off and throwing the bad guys' faces. Be like that movie, The Visit. M. Night Shyamalan just taking just dirty diapers into people's faces. This looks garbage. It will be garbage. And I'm sorry, you want me to sugarcoat it? I'm not going to kiss the movie's ass. You haven't seen it yet. Are you sure? Like, no, duh. This is a reaction. This is a first impression. This is my initial thoughts on it. It's not against the law as of now to have that. Give me a break. Like I said, if you're expecting, why don't you punch, is it kick, scream, shout, curse? Why should I be that surprised? Look at every franchise. Alien, Predator, Terminator. Can I really be that upset? I mean, I can be upset. I am upset, but it's par for the course. It's par for the course in today's age. So, good luck with your turtle Muppet babies. Doesn't, hey, it's not for me. I just think it's sad that these characters have so much potential that will forever be untapped because no one wants to either take the risk, take the chance, or actually think of these characters as actual characters. Again, imagine if someone imagine someone said Superman is only for kids, and it was only stuff made for kids. Only. Imagine any superhero you could think of, any comic book character you could think of, Captain America. Imagine someone said Captain America is only for kids. You can only do stuff like this with Captain America only for kids. Imagine someone said that. Because comic books are for kids. And all the untapped potential. But you know, you want to regurgitate this stuff, and you want to eat it up like Folgers in your cup. Ain't my job to do that. So with that said, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.